Hello everyone, this is the Lord of the RPG coming to you guys with a new video. This video will be on Little Nightmares 2 and a little bit of Little Nightmares. It's going to be kind of an opinions, review, discussion, just a video talking about Little Nightmares 2 and how much I like the games and maybe what I see about the future. It's also somewhat scripted, my first kind of scripted video that was pretty difficult to do. It's a video that took me a while, just trying to find the time to do it and figure out how I want to do it, and I've been trying to up my game with thumbnails, videos, content, so on. I hope you guys enjoy the video and the gameplay and everything. I'm going to do my best. Who knows how many times this is going to take me, but we'll get there. So I'll go ahead and start with the beginning with Little Nightmares. Oh, and there's definitely going to be some spoilers and stuff like that, of course. So, I finally remember hearing about Little Nightmares in probably like 2015 or 2016. And I was intrigued about the small character in a big world kind of pitch for a horror game where you're a small kid, everything else is, bigger people, adults, or everything around you is bigger and exaggerated. It's kind of like the fears of a child, blown up and made a reality that you have to play through. And the game seemed really cool and fun from gameplay and stuff like that. And it kind of fell to the wayside for me for a while. And so a few weeks before the game's release, I remembered the game and I saw some stuff on it. So I was like, oh yeah, let me go. I really want to get this game, and it looked really cool. I definitely want to play it. So I went to GameStop as soon as I could, and I pre-ordered the 6th edition, which I think was only a $10, $20 difference in price. And, that's basically like the special edition of the game. It came with a figurine and a few other knickknacks. Also, and if you're interested in finding out more about that, I have an unboxing of Little Nightmares on my channel, so go check that out. That'd be awesome. Thank you. And I really enjoyed the horror and the uniqueness of the setting, storytelling method with Little Nightmares, and, how much it gives you to think about and stuff like that. And throughout the 2 to 3 hour runtime of Little Nightmares, it had me glued, it had me theorizing for days, weeks, and months, and I played through it twice. It was a lot of fun. Actually, no, I played through it 3 times because of the Nintendo Switch. So, yeah, and And so Tarsier Studios, who created, what I consider probably these gems, they also had 3 DLC chapters for the original game. I don't really want to get too much into those, but I also beat those on Xbox One once, and I'm working on them on the Switch. And they were amazing in a lot of ways. So we'll kind of get into the more meat and potatoes of this video, you know what I mean? More about Little Nightmares 2, I guess. So the prequel or sequel to the first game. That's up for debate, but I think it's probably a prequel, which had, it had way more hype and advertising behind it because of more funding, the success of the original game. And my first impressions were like, damn, holy shit, those graphics are awesome. You know what I mean? Like, there's such a step up from the original game, which, really led it to being like 10 times more eerie and creepy in the long run of like the whole game. It also doubled its length, and it's a blast, And Little Nightmares made me fall in love, but the sequel really cemented me into the possibility of the games and the studio, and I really loved everything about both games. Especially Little Nightmares 2, I think I definitely like that one more than the first one, but the first one is great. The setting, characters, and set pieces in Little Nightmares 2 were to die for. Sometimes even literally. The teacher was for sure one of the creepiest characters in all of the second game in my eyes. But I think the Thin Man really gives her a run for her money. I mean, come on, he's like a Slender Man type of thing, and it's so creepy. The final showdown with the hunter in the very first level of the game is very intense, and it can really show how easily that anyone, or our characters especially, can lose their innocence in a dark, twisted world such as this. The doctor midway through the game and the residents were very interesting people to come across. I mean, if you can call them people. So they're enemies, I guess. And, don't let me forget the mannequins also in the hospital midway through the game. which were just insanely creepy. I didn't find it that difficult, as some people did. And I think they were worse than the Doctor himself, honestly. Every single moment in the game was heart-pounding, creepy, and gripping. I've not quite experienced a horror game quite like this game, other than the original, of course. And the games always kind of gave me those Playdead vibes from Limbo and Inside. And I think if you enjoy Little Nightmares or Little Nightmares 2, you should at least give Limbo and Inside a shot. They're not exactly horror, but they're not exactly not. And they are in a sense. They have very interesting settings, gameplay, they're side-scroller puzzle-type games, and they're really, really, really good. A lot of people even consider them masterpieces in what they do. I definitely shed some tears at the end and was confused and amazed at the same time, and it was crazy. The ending was a twist I never saw coming, and the signal tower entity was so gross and interesting all at once. It really reminded me of the Almighty Pooh from Conker's Bad Fur Day, the final boss, I forget its name, and Journey to Savage Planet. You should definitely check out those games as well if you haven't. But Little Nightmares 2 left me with so many questions and very few answers, but the game was worth playing, and I think everyone should play it. I don't care the price you buy it at, just give it some support and tell your friends about it. The game, without a doubt, gets a gold star recommendation from me and a 10 out of 10 rating easily. Really looking forward to possible DLC and a second playthrough any day now. Tarsier may still make the DLC, but after this game, they are moving on from Little Nightmares, sadly, because their contract with Bandai Namco is up, and they have a new parent company who wants them to focus on new IPs instead. Bandai Namco can and probably will make more games or DLC. I think the team behind Very Little Nightmares could make a good mainline game, without a doubt, honestly, because that one's really good. There's only one way to find out anyway, and I hope all you guys and gals enjoyed the video. It's my first scripted vid, as I said earlier, and it took longer than expected to get done. The script and everything involved was hard, but I kept putting it off. Who knows why? And have a great day, and hope you enjoy it. Awesome. Thanks.